CreditRefund.com.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Stop waiting to get better quality sleep. Labor Day at Hendricks Home Furnishings is your chance to save big on top mattress brands. Feel the trusted support of Sealy, experience the legendary comfort of Tempur-Pedic, and discover the one-of-a-kind craftsmanship of Stearns & Foster, all with savings up to $800 off select adjustable sets, now until September 18th only. Find better sleep today at Hendricks Home Furnishings, where you can always talk to the owners, Route 4 in Verdon, and on the web at hendricks.tv.
92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today with a high near 77. Low tonight about 48. Tomorrow sunny with a high near 78. Low around 56. For your weekend, cloudy on Saturday. High near 77. Sunday, sunny with a high near 77. And Monday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
One of the easiest things you can do to prevent getting stranded tomorrow is check your battery today. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery. If you can take about 5 minutes out of your day, we can make absolutely sure your car battery is ready before winter. Just pull into Rex, and we'll not only test the battery, but we'll make sure your alternator is doing its important job. Just because your car is running well now doesn't mean it's going to start when the temp drops. If you find your battery is near the end of its life, Rex Battery has car batteries for every make and model on the road. And more often than not, we have them for less than other places. Batteries are all we do, and we want to make sure yours is strong before winter hits. Just pull into Rex Battery anytime and ask for a free battery test. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
It's officially here. This week only. Enjoy 50% off your purchase during our Friends and Family event at Banana Republic Factory. Explore limited time savings on the latest elevated styles online or at your nearest Banana Republic Factory store.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Barcom Security. You know, we're the Have a Secure Day security systems company. Right here out on South Cokie Mill Road. Family owned and managed for nearly 50 years. We are local experts in residential, small business, and commercial security systems. Family owned, family values, treating you just like family. Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll actually pick up the phone. You can check us out at barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
And it's not for police to tell me what's constitutional or not. They haven't supported not one gun violence effort in the state of New Mexico, including domestic violence protections, universal background checks. And I know you want to ask me a question, so I'll take a breath, but these are NRA talking points about their rights and not about anybody else's. And it's not a ban. It's a temporary pause so that we can make this community safer.
That is the New York. That is the New Mexico governor making some statements there about you can't have the judges make these decisions or the police to tell her what is constitutional or not. All right, welcome back. It is Springfield's Morning News. Gosh, I got to get all these buttons ready. Okay, here we are. All right, we're back. I swear. Bear with me. Gotta love live radio and producing all of this myself. It's just it makes for a good time, that's for sure. Let's get this party started again. All right.
And it's not for police to tell me what's constitutional or not. They haven't supported one, not one. And it's not for police to tell me what's constitutional or not. They haven't supported one, not one, gun violence effort in the state of New Mexico, including domestic violence protections, universal background checks, and I know you want to ask me a question, so I'll take a breath.
Well, you definitely are going to have to take a breath, and while police aren't the ones to tell you what's constitutional, a court could. Welcome back. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. And yesterday, a federal judge issuing a temporary restraining order against New Mexico's governor, Michelle Grisham, saying that her 30-day order is ultimately not constitutional, and those who ultimately are challenging this are going to be likely succeeding in their merits. So this was obviously a question that even other Democrats and law enforcement in New Mexico and elsewhere across the country saw as really a no-brainer. You can't suspend constitutional rights with a public health order like this, especially when that constitutional right is a Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. So the obviously this was on Friday when she announced that she was issuing this order. Lawsuit was filed, another lawsuit filed, another lawsuit filed, lawsuits stacking up. But the Firearms Policy Council, or the coalition, they got in front of the judge yesterday, and during a hearing, all indication is that it was something that really didn't go well for the New Mexico governor, and the outcome being a temporary restraining order being issued. So let's take a look at that order again from the Firearms Policy Coalition, FPC. They posted the order on their website, and it breaks it down, showing that you've got a whole host of issues at stake here. The Second Amendment being one of them, obviously, but it's not just that. It's also previous Supreme Court precedent that is clearly at stake here when it comes to the governor's order. So if you follow FPC on Twitter, you'll be able to ultimately see the background, the temporary restraining order, and the conversations that are had. But just to look at what ultimately they say is the discussion. Plaintiffs have established a likelihood of success on the merits, and they also go through and outline why plaintiffs will suffer irreparable harm absent an injunction. And they go through and they explain why, and that the temporary restraining order will not be adverse to the public interest. And then they go through and talk about why. Then the judge says the balance of equities favor plaintiffs. So the conclusion is that the plaintiff's motion for a temporary restraining order is granted. And I think that is clearly top line here. That's the news. But it's only a temporary restraining order. So they're enjoined from applying or enforcing or attempting to enforce either criminally or civilly New Mexico Department of Health's public health emergency order imposing temporary firearm restriction, drug monitoring, and other public safety measures, published September 8th. Goes on to say no person other than law enforcement officers can carry, reads out what the order is, and pushing back against that. In addition, defendants are enjoined from applying, enforcing, or attempting to enforce, either criminally or civilly, Section 4 of the Public Health Order. Goes on to read that out. Further ordered that the temporary restraining order shall be effective from September 13th while the motions for preliminary injunction are going on, following a hearing at which all parties shall have the opportunity to present further arguments to the court. But as we mentioned, the arguments are that this is going to provide irreparable harm. So the order goes on to talk about how the preliminary injunction, the temporary restraining order, it's going to be in effect until October 3rd. So still a lot to come out of this case. It's not going to go away, and that's New Mexico, but we're still waiting on any outcome. The gun and magazine ban here in Illinois at the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, but you've also got a hearing October 11th down in the Southern District about the vagueness challenge of the state's semi-automatic firearm and magazine ban and registry. Will we ever see that Fifth Amendment argument about Illinois' ban? We shall see. But again, the top news is that the New Mexico governor's executive order prohibiting the carrying of firearms in Albuquerque and the county of the city of Albuquerque. It's been enjoined temporarily. But why did the governor do this? Because of what she said was gun violence. And here's what she had to say backing that up before the injunction was issued. Here is the New Mexico Governor Grisham.
Look, and it's not for police to tell me what's constitutional or not. They haven't supported not one gun violence effort in the state of New Mexico, including domestic violence protections, universal background checks. And I know you want to ask me a question, so I'll take a breath, but these are NRA talking points about their rights and not about anybody else's. And it's not a ban. It's a temporary pause so that we can make this community safer.
So not a ban, she says, a temporary pause, but her temporary pause on the Second Amendment has now a temporary pause on it. And we'll be watching this closely to see what transpires. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Follow me anywhere, Bishop on Air. Just search X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and we can connect that way. All right, coming up, we've got a conversation about other outcomes in courts, including California's Court of Appeals shooting down that state's measure that's similar to an Illinois measure, and that concerns allowing for lawsuits against the firearms industry. So we'll get to that next here on WMAY, and what kind of impact that could possibly have on Illinois' law. So stay tuned. We'll get to that next here at 6:19 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
I think what people want from their doctors, as much as anything, is a partner in their care. I'm Dr. Chris McDowell, a physician with SIU Medicine. Our clinical excellence is unmatched in the region. We're home to the latest technology, the best people. But what sets us apart is our commitment to our patients. Being there for them as a partner, a supporter, as an advocate, and even a neighbor. That's what makes SIU Medicine so unique. Learn more at siumed.org.
Your son was 3 when you planted that tree in your backyard. Now he's grown, planting seeds and making memories with his own kids. Let Heartland Bank help you grow more memories with banking options for every stage of your life. Welcome, former Town and Country Bank customers. We're your community bank. Heartland Bank. We build relationships that nurture and grow your dreams. Visit us today at hbtbank.com. Member FDIC.
It's a new day, a new way at Green Hyundai. Over 100 new Hyundais in stock and more arriving daily. Come see why Hyundai is the best-selling new car in Sangamon County for the last 16 years.
That's right. Motor Trend Magazine's big third row 7 and 8 passenger SUV comparison. Hyundai Palisade placed #1 over the competition. Motor Trend quotes Palisade, lowest price, best fuel economy, and more luxury, backed up by America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000.
Also, True Car quotes best overall SUV, the Tucson. Can you believe the best SUV is under $30,000? Yeah, base price at only $28,000 window price.
Largest inventory we've had in 3 years, pushing 200 units on the ground. Get the Green Hyundai today. Save big on Hyundai's value. Green Hyundai, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, Springfield.
I'm Dr. Tanya DeSanto with the Prairie Dental Group in Springfield. A lot of dental offices in Springfield tell you how good they are. At Prairie Dental Group, we let our patients do the talking.
Honestly, as a mom, what is not good about being in a comfortable reclining chair that is massaging me while I can sit there with my eyes closed and not talk to anyone? It's almost like a dental spa.
It's nice that it's done well. They're very gentle with you as you get things done.
I think she's made me look better. I'm all in.
You get a toy at the end, and they're really good at cleaning your teeth.
There was no pain. It was easy.
Thank you for being a great dentist.
Come see why so many choose the all-women staff at Prairie Dental Group. Make your appointment today by calling 546-0412. Prairie Dental Group is located at the corner of Greenbrier and West White Oaks Drive right here in Springfield. And you can also find us on our website at prairiedentalgroup.com.
And thank you for voting us the best dental office in Springfield 8 years in a row.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
One of the easiest things you can do to prevent getting stranded tomorrow is check your battery today. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery. If you can take about 5 minutes out of your day, we can make absolutely sure your car battery is ready before winter. Just pull into Rex, and we'll not only test the battery, but we'll make sure your alternator is doing its important job. Just because your car is running well now doesn't mean it's going to start when the temp drops. If you find your battery is near the end of its life, Rex Battery has car batteries for every make and model on the road. And more often than not, we have them for less than other places. Batteries are all we do, and we want to make sure yours is strong before winter hits. Just pull into Rex Battery anytime and ask for a free battery test. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
A federal judge out of California striking down a measure that is very similar to a recently enacted Illinois law that also faces a challenge, and that's the law that allows for really anyone to sue the firearms industry on how they advertise. Welcome back. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. So here's the story. A U.S. appeals court Wednesday blocking California's law, banning gun manufacturers and the industry that advertise a certain way to minors, saying that it was likely to be found unconstitutional, therefore issuing a temporary restraining order or a preliminary injunction. I think it's, different terminology really meaning the same thing here. But the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which only affects those jurisdictions within the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. So it'll be interesting to see how this ultimately plays into the lawsuits in the Fifth Circuit here in Illinois, with a case in front of the Southern District that's challenging Illinois' law that allows for individuals to sue the gun industry, even those from outside of Illinois, to sue the gun industry in Illinois if they target minors with certain types of advertising, or if they, say, advertise for militia type of activity. So this story goes on to highlight how the circuit court in California, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, really said that California's law does not significantly advance its purported goal and is more extensive than necessary. California Attorney General's office didn't immediately respond, but you do have Gavin Newsom making a statement, as is reported. And ultimately, he laid out that he thinks that this decision was a bad decision. Newsom says that the court is fighting to protect marketing weapons of war to children. A junior AR-15. They have endorsed this. The governor says, and then it provides like a little kind of cartoonish type of advertisement that he says is problematic. So obviously this is not over. You got to imagine that California could very well go ahead and appeal this and have it go on up. But how is this similar to Illinois' law? Obviously, this is something that we take a look at here in the states because of the ongoing litigation in the federal courts challenging this. But let's go ahead and flash back a bit to last month when Governor J.B. Pritzker on a Saturday decided to go to a gun control advocacy group, and they were having a convention of sorts up in Chicago, and he signed the law that allows for lawsuits against the gun industry. Here's how that played out when they ultimately went and signed that particular piece of legislation.
Under the leadership of Raul, the state of Illinois will now be allowed to take legal action against firearm industry players that endanger the public safety and health of our people. We hold opioid manufacturers accountable. We hold vaping companies accountable. We hold predatory lenders accountable. Gun manufacturers shouldn't get to hide from the law, and now they won't be able to.
Now, I want to make sure, because, we've got folks in court cases who tend to use what I say. It is important to know that this law in no way targets those in the firearm industry who operate in a lawful manner. What this law does is clarify that the firearm industry, like any other business, must comply with the Consumer Fraud and Deceptive Practices Act. The legislation establishes that the firearm industry members who knowingly violate the law and endanger the public when selling firearms, for example, by not taking already required steps to prevent sales to straw purchasers, are liable for those irresponsible practices. It prohibits marketing that reasonably appears to support unlawful paramilitary and unlawful private militia. And it reminds gun industry members that you cannot market to our kids.
We do not tolerate.
So it goes on from there, and you remember when we reviewed that particular bill signing and all the arguments that were made by the sponsors of the legislation and so on. But what's the status of the case challenging that? Pulling that up here. Looking at the docket from the federal court system, and this again is in the Southern District of Illinois, the federal courts there. The latest entry was late last month, and it was just a judge reassignment. And again, you had several judges reassigned here, including Judge Stephen McGlenn being assigned at one point, but ultimately they had the magistrate judge Stacey Yandel take on the case. So we'll see where this ultimately goes with more hearings and more filings. expected here soon. So you've got the orders and the briefs that are all going to be stacking up in this case. But this is similar to the law that a appeals court in California just found that was likely to be unconstitutional, and a temporary restraining order on California's law being issued yesterday. So not only do we have the New Mexico temporary restraining order, we had the California temporary restraining order, different issues, but still impacting the Second Amendment, while we still wait here in Illinois for any kind of outcome of the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, who has the arguments in hand challenging Illinois' gun and magazine ban pending. And that Second Amendment challenge, who knows when they're going to issue their ruling, because it's expected that's going to go right to the U.S. Supreme Court once that happens, when it happens. So we're still watching for any outcome there. But while we're waiting for that outcome, obviously, we're seeing what's happening in other areas of the country. And I think this California court order is going to be used by Illinois plaintiffs in the Illinois challenge of a similar law, allowing for government to target the gun manufacturers and the gun industry when it comes to liability and a host of other things. So that's the latest here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. You can always follow along with me, Bishop on Air, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, so we can connect. You can email me as well, bishoponair@gmail.com. Even more lawsuits. This time, coming up next, we'll talk about the deferred action for childhood arrivals. And that is, of course, a pretty contentious issue. And a recent federal court ruling that it was unlawful. DACA is unlawful. But keep in mind, DACA recipients in Illinois, they can become law enforcement according to Illinois law. So we'll, again, hear what Governor J.B. Pritzker had to say about that. We'll hear also what some of the other conversations are about immigration reform and even co-pays for those who are undocumented getting Illinois taxpayer-subsidized health insurance. It's only 6:33. Oh, there's too much going on. All right, take a break for some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: 2 men have climbed Mount Kilimanjaro wearing 3-piece suits, laying claim to the title of the first successful assault of the Kenyan mountain while dressed for the boardroom or a night out. Belgian tailor Tommaso Bordoni and his best friend Alexander Gillen wore suits designed by Bordoni's company as they scaled the highest point in Africa and the highest freestanding mountain in the world, accompanied by a couple of more traditionally attired guides. Friday mornings are a time to get to know some of the people who Lincoln knew while he lived in Springfield. The Lincoln Tomb Historic Site hosts guided visits to the final resting places of Abraham Lincoln's friends, neighbors, and political associates on a 90-minute hike through Oak Ridge Cemetery. Guides will discuss their lives and highlight their interactions with the 16th president. Walks begin every Friday at 9:30 a.m. through November 3rd. Parents looking for a date night tomorrow can drop off their kids at the Hanson Robinson Zoo from 6 o'clock until 9. Children can play, create, and learn about the wild world while their parents spend a couple of hours off doing grown-up things. Pizza and snacks are provided, or parents may send a packed dinner if they like. Registration is $30 to $35, then $5 for each additional child. More information at WMAY.com. Lincoln Land Community College will host a traveling art exhibit, Stamps of Hope 2, showcasing Syrian refugee artwork from the Zakatari refugee camp in Jordan from September 15th to October 13th. The exhibit can be viewed weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Tretter Museum Murray Gallery, located in Menard Hall on the LLCC Springfield campus. The public is invited to attend a gallery talk and reception featuring Middle Eastern cuisine on Thursday, September 28th at 5 o'clock p.m. in the Tretter Center. According to the latest statement from Archer Daniels Midland, 4 workers injured in Sunday afternoon's explosion in Decatur remain hospitalized, while 1 has been released. Corn plant operations are expected to resume normally in coming days, while the majority of protein production at the facility is expected to take some weeks to recover. The company still has not announced a cause of the explosion. The Sangamon County Board approved a resolution this week that will launch a farm-to-school pilot program in the Pawnee School District. The 3-year program will transform the school's food service to a from-scratch program with a diverse menu. The school district said in a statement that the program will allow the school community to connect with local farmers and serve more local food to their students. The Gin Mill's Belly Laughs comedy this Friday night at 6:30 p.m. National touring acts Ronaldo Mercado, Ryan Hallam, Tim Laffey, Al Nimpson, and Richard Bailey are scheduled to perform. The event will be emceed by Corey Stewart from St. Louis. $10 gets you in the door, and the Gin Mill is located at 235 South 5th Street in downtown Springfield. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Cousin Bill here with Illinois Paving. Do you need a new driveway? Did you drag your feet this summer? Well, call now before the season ends. When other contractors say no, Illinois Paving will say yes, with immediate openings available, whether it's asphalt or hot tar and chip. Call Cousin Bill, 788-7777. 788-7777. ILPaving.com.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Conn's a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Cons at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Do you like gadgets? Techie kind of stuff that you can control with your phone, like your home security system, for instance. If you have a security system and you're not able to control everything with your phone, you're really missing out. With the virtual keypad on your phone, you can even watch your cameras and control other systems in your house besides just the security system from anywhere at any time. Curious? Call the Springfield office of Barcom Security or check out barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today with a high near 77. Low tonight about 48. Tomorrow sunny with a high near 78. Low around 56. For your weekend, cloudy on Saturday. High near 77. Sunday, sunny with a high near 77. And Monday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections, Springfield to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport has recently undergone improvements to make your experience flying to and from your hometown even easier. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at AA.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS. Call Civic Tax Relief for free information now. Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
Just call 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
It's officially here. This week only, enjoy 50% off your purchase during our Friends and Family event at Banana Republic Factory. Explore limited time savings on the latest elevated styles online or at your nearest Banana Republic Factory store.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Work hard, sleep well with Bemco and Just Beds. You work hard, your stress is high. You need the best night's sleep possible. That's just what you'll get at Just Beds. All this month, save on Bemco mattresses. Twin mattresses $149, queen mattresses just $229. Just Beds features Bemco's Arctic Breeze, Max Life, and the all-new Arctic Life mattresses. As always, free delivery, setup, and removal. Work hard, sleep well. Visit the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds on Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Just Beds.
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. Here's some good news. The TSA has started to use new CT, or computed technology scanning devices, for carry-on bags, which are better at detecting explosives and other threats. The machines are now at more than 228 U.S. airports. They create impressive 3D images of bags' contents, allowing for more thorough inspections on the screen and fewer physical bag searches. But for the moment, you still may be waiting longer in security lines. Why? The TSA now has to train their officers on these machines. My advice, when picking a security line, look for just one TSA agent monitoring the screen at the conveyor belt. If there are two officers looking at that screen, that means that one of them is in training. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute.
Summer bonanza means more business in the fall months? Hire right with Indeed. Their integrated solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been this easy. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credits.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
Deferred action for childhood arrivals found to be unlawful by a federal judge. This after former President Donald Trump's attempts to find the law. It's not really a law, it was an edict by former President Barack Obama. But in 2017, attempts by the Trump administration to find DACA illegal was thwarted by the courts. But yesterday, you have a federal judge essentially saying that DACA is unlawful. So what's the impact on one law in particular here in Illinois when it comes to allowing for non-citizens in the states to become law enforcement officers? I guess we'll have to determine that. But again, a federal judge in Texas yesterday declaring that the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program is illegal. The judge wrote that the remaining provisions of the original injunction are to remain in place and are to be applicable to final rule deferred action of childhood arrivals. Nearly 150 illegal immigrants have crossed the border. According to federal government, you've got 800,000 individuals believed to be recipients of DACA. You've got millions who've crossed the border just in the past couple of years. Tent cities possibly popping up in Chicago. The Border Patrol releasing an email to authorities that was leaked out of Florida, essentially saying that they plan to mass release illegal border crossers from crowded facilities. So while you've got all of those numbers from the those on the terrorist watch list crossing the border illegally to those who have been here, taken here as children, and the constant flow of migrants crossing the border illegally, this all is clearly something I think is for good reason top of mind for a lot of people. As you see the numbers and the headlines stack up. So the federal judge in Texas essentially saying that DACA is illegal. It's expected this is going to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And it should go to the U.S. Supreme Court because, the question is, can the executive, as the president, make immigration law just by issuing an executive order or some kind of policy that Obama did with the deferred action of childhood arrivals. Now, again, how does this impact an Illinois law that Governor J.B. Pritzker signed? I heard about this, a couple of months ago. We talked about it when it was making its way through the State House, and then the governor quietly signed it, if you recall, along with, I think it was either when he signed 150 bills on a Friday afternoon or it was 100 bills he signed on a Friday afternoon, I can't recall, which tranche of bills. He signed it, but he didn't have like a big signing ceremony. However, he was asked about it later on. And here's what the governor had to say about that law that allows for non-citizens to become police officers in the state of Illinois. Here's Governor J.B. Pritzker on that.
That's wrong. That's false. Yeah, I appreciate you asking the question because, as usual, the far right is proposing or putting out their false information. They're saying that we're allowing illegal immigrants is the word that they would use. Undocumented immigrants are not allowed to become police officers in the state of Illinois still. What we have allowed is legal permanent residents and DACA recipients now to become police officers. So we have the ability for people who are legally in this country and, again, permanent residents or DACA recipients now to apply for jobs as police officers. But I am tired of the right wing twisting these things. They put it out on Facebook. They tell lies. They attack based upon those lies. They're perpetuating lies. So there are people out there that think that we're just allowing anybody to become a police officer. That's just not accurate. 2 other states already have provided this. We have a U.S. military that has 35,000 immigrants who are not U.S. citizens who are serving in the U.S. military today. 8,000 more sign up every year. We allow that in our U.S. military. We allow it in a couple of other states, and more states are adding on to this list of states that are allowing legal permanent residents. So I'm proud that we are doing this. I think it's the right thing to do. It's also good for our police departments. And, oh, by the way, the Fraternal Order of Police has supported it.
Again, Governor J.B. Pritzker talking about this law. And while, permanent residents here with certain work visas, they've gone through the process and they're allowed to become police officers per this law. But what about the deferred action for childhood arrivals, he says, are allowed to be police officers? He says they're legal. Well, a federal judge on Wednesday saying that's not the case, saying that DACA is illegal. And again, around 800,000 individuals believed to be recipients of DACA, with 2/3 of those enrolled in the program thought to be between 21 and 30 years old. So there's a lot of questions still remaining as well as to what kinds of immigration reform there could be. And this was something that was kind of shoehorned into a U.S. Senate committee yesterday, or earlier this week, I should say. It was on Tuesday, when they were trying to do a conversation about book bans. But then Republican U.S. senators like Lindsey Graham and John Cornyn and John Kennedy, they all wanted to inject the issue of immigration and the need for focusing on that in the Judiciary Committee. Here's how that sounded.
183,000 people came over legally in July. We've had 146 people on the terrorist watch list. In FY22, which is about 2.4 million came across. Since President Biden's been president, 5.5 million people have come across illegally. That's bigger than the state of South Carolina. This is a national crisis that begs for a national response since day one. The migrant crisis will destroy New York City. New York City will experience a financial tsunami. The mayor's right. We should be trying to find a way to fix this problem. That, to me, is the biggest priority facing this committee.
Gang of 8, 4 Democrats, 4 Republicans, wrote a comprehensive immigration reform bill, which I still think in the whole can be used today as a template for where we need to go.
That bill failed to succeed. I know you're proud of it, but that was also at a different time than we're in now. And before the Biden border crisis became so dire. We haven't had a markup of an immigration bill in this committee, which is the committee of jurisdiction, since the current chairman has been chairman. And even when our Democratic colleagues were in charge of both the House, the Senate, and the White House, we haven't considered any immigration bills.
Decision in the bill was that those who are undocumented, currently living in the United States, would report themselves to the government and pay their taxes and their Social Security. They would not qualify for citizenship, at least in the outset. And the idea was to get everybody on the books once and for all. I think that is a positive step forward. It did have favorable sections for dreamers, which you can imagine I had some interest in.
How is that not amnesty?
Well, it isn't as if they're being forgiven for wrongdoing. They were brought to this country as children and infants. I don't think that there was any culpable conduct on the part of these dreamers, if you wish.
You got to secure your border. If you don't, it's a fruitless exercise. You need to increase legal immigration because we don't have enough people to work in our economy, and you need to deal with people here legally, and I've been very open to doing all those things.
So Lindsey Graham, Senator Durbin, John Cornyn, John Kennedy, all having this conversation during a Senate committee that was supposed to focus on book bans, but they took about 20 minutes at the beginning of the committee to talk about migration and immigration reform. But while we continue that conversation in Washington, D.C., it's still costing taxpayers here in Illinois. How so? From housing to clothing to education to healthcare. We'll talk about co-pays and how those are suspended in the program for Illinois subsidizing that particular program. So that's coming up next, 6:51 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all shifts and all positions. Apply today in person.
Clock Tower Community Bank, a division of Morton Community Bank, is more than just a place to keep your money. They care about you, your family, your favorite business, and the charities you support. Clock Tower Community Bank offers a full range of personal and business banking services. With 6 convenient locations in Springfield and Chatham, our experienced local bankers are here for you in every way. They're local people making local decisions for local success. So if you're looking for a bank that's everything you want in a community bank, visit Clock Tower Community Bank today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a new day, a new way at Green Hyundai. Over 100 new Hyundais in stock and more arriving daily. Come see why Hyundai is the best-selling new car in Sangamon County for the last 16 years.
That's right. Motor Trend Magazine's big third row 7 and 8 passenger SUV comparison. Hyundai Palisade placed number 1 over the competition. Motor Trend quotes Palisade, lowest price, best fuel economy, and more luxury, backed up by America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000.
Also, TrueCar quotes best overall SUV, the Tucson. Can you believe the best SUV is under $30,000? Yeah, base price at only $28,000 window price.
Largest inventory we've had in 3 years, pushing 200 units on the ground. Get the Green Hyundai today. Save big on Hyundai's value. Green Hyundai, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, Springfield.
Shoes, Brews, and Biz is back. The Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce's 5th annual Shoes, Brews, and Biz will be on Thursday, October 5th at the LRS hangar at 5 p.m. Shoes, Brews, and Biz will feature Springfield's favorite horseshoes and craft beers from local restaurants and breweries. Advance tickets are $20, and that will include samples of unique horseshoes and craft beers, along with the rare opportunity to tour the car and motorcycle collection owned by Dick Levi of Levi, Ray, and Shoup Incorporated. Call for tickets at 525-1173 or visit gscc.org. That's 525-1173 or gscc.org. The Chamber's Shoes, Brews, and Biz, Thursday, October 5th at the LRS hangar by presenting sponsor Bank and Trust Company, premier sponsors Green Volkswagen Audi, Nob Hill Landscape Company, Springfield Clinic, and this station.
Cleaning out your gutters? Raking and bagging leaves? Sounds like a typical fall weekend until injuries happen. But Springfield Clinic Orthopedics is here to get you back in motion with our walk-in clinic. No appointment needed. Walk, crutch, or roll in when you need us. Springfield Clinic, a community of caring.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Ricken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Listen on demand at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
So while the federal courts find DACA is unlawful and questions still about how that impacts Illinois' law allowing for non-citizens, including DACA recipients, to be police officers, you've got the headlines stacking up about how many more migrants are coming to Chicago and the tent cities that are expected with military-grade style base camp tents. But also you got the cost that taxpayers are incurring when it comes to migrants' health care subsidies for those over the age of 65. And the governor implemented co-pays, but those co-pays are on hold as an effort to try to shore up those costs on taxpayers, $550 million worth. Here's some of what went down at a Joint Committee on Administrative Rules hearing with the Department of Health Care and Family Services, talking about why they postponed or are suspending a copay that was meant to shore up taxpayer costs.
So I was informed recently that there were some programming issues with regards to that. I believe specifically with regards to the emergency room. Given the fact that there is a program for non-citizens that's federally funded or at least federally matched. And until we had the ability to completely have the system work and function appropriately as it should, and to draw in as much federal matching as possible in these situations, we decided to suspend it and instruct the providers that if there were any copays that were taken, they needed to repay them because HFS would be paying the full amount.
So again, taxpayers going to be paying the full amount until they reinstitute these copays that are suspended while they try to rework the rules to find how they can get any kind of federal matching dollars for undocumented migrants over the age of 65 going to the hospital or the emergency room. So, again, while you got the headlines about DACA and, those on the terrorist watch lists coming across the border and more people pouring into Chicago recently with tent cities, the overall cost to taxpayers here in the state of Illinois continues to mount. All right, we got plenty more to get to. It is Thursday at 7 o'clock. We'll talk Chinese-linked company getting tax credits next.
From the Fly SPI Studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville. Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Justin Finch. Eye-opening new details in the capture of Pennsylvania prison escapee Danilo Cavalcante, telling investigators he survived on watermelon, used a stolen razor to go clean-shaven, and buried his own waste. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Police say Cavalcante tried to get away as officers moved in, crawling under thick underbrush with his loaded rifle. But the Customs and Border Control team released a canine named Yoda to capture him.
The dog subdued him, and team members from both of those teams immediately moved in.
The 4-year-old Belgian Malinois leaving a visible bite mark on Cavalcante's scalp. Meanwhile, for the first time in days, schools and businesses in the area will be reopened today as local residents breathe a sigh of relief.
Midnight tonight, the deadline for the United Auto Workers and Detroit's Big Three automakers to get a deal or a strike. The UAW wants pay increases, pensions, and benefits for new hires and a 4-day work week. The automakers say they're in a financial bind as they build more electric cars. ABC's Terry Moran outside Detroit.
The talks continue, both sides saying progress has been made, but they remain far apart. And UAW President Fain telling his members to win, we are likely going to have to take action.
There's another big deadline for the country just weeks away to avoid a government shutdown. ABC's Andy Field.
Hardline House conservatives pushing for Congress to spend more than they had earlier agreed to on defense. That is just one of a dozen must-pass spending bills stalled in the Republican-controlled Congress. And even bills they do pass may not get through the Democratically controlled Senate, with just 2 weeks left to do something before another government shutdown.
This is ABC News.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
All right, coming up this hour, we'll talk about the Invest in Kids Act. We'll also get your reaction to the impeachment inquiry that seems to be revving up over in Washington, D.C. Really, I'd like to get your thoughts on how the corporate media and the establishment press are reporting on this. Like, for instance, did you even hear in ABC News anything about the impeachment inquiry? So we'll get to that coming up. Also, just a little bit of a preview of the Pretrial Fairness Act getting ready to go into effect on Monday. But up next, let's talk about tax credits for a Chinese-linked company. We'll talk with Mark Glendon from WirePoints next here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. I'm Greg Bishop. It's 7:04.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the Sangamon County Board approved a resolution this week that will launch a farm-to-school pilot program in the Pawnee School District. The 3-year program will transform the school's food service to a from-scratch program with a diverse menu. The school district said in a statement that the program will allow the school community to connect with local farmers and serve more local food to their students. What insect migrates 2,000 miles each year, has a wingspan under 4 inches, and weighs less than a paperclip? This Saturday at Lincoln Memorial Garden, 5 to 12-year-old children will have the opportunity to learn about monarch butterflies, the only butterfly known to migrate such distances annually from Canada to the volcanic mountain ranges of central Mexico. The class is free, but class size is limited. Registration information at WMAY.com. Walk the Path of Suffragists as a guide discusses the stories of several women who helped make Illinois the first state east of the Mississippi to guarantee voting rights for women. The free walking tour begins at the Lincoln Home Visitor Center and concludes at the Illinois State Capitol. Other stops include the Illinois Governor's Mansion, the Vachel Lindsay Home, and the Dana Thomas House, but do not include the interiors of the sites. The program is every Friday at 10 a.m. until November 9th. The Illinois Department of Public Health recommends the updated COVID-19 vaccines, which arrive amid a recent wave of severe COVID-19 cases across the U.S., including increased hospitalizations and deaths in Illinois. In order to avoid a triple-demic of flu, COVID-19, and RSV, public health officials urge Americans to stay updated on seasonal immunizations and consider multiple vaccinations in one visit. For individuals aged 5 and above, the new vaccines are authorized regardless of previous vaccinations, but must be administered 2 months following the last dose of any COVID-19 vaccine. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News brought to you by Illinois Paving. It's paving season, and Illinois Paving is here to help. Call Cousin Bill today for your free estimate. Visit ilpaving.com.
Cleaning out your gutters? Raking and bagging leaves? Sounds like a typical fall weekend until injuries happen. But Springfield Clinic Orthopedics is here to get you back in motion with our walk-in clinic. No appointment needed. Walk, crutch, or roll in when you need us. Springfield Clinic, a community of caring.
Ever notice how other stores that sell mattresses have middlemen that are so meddling with their extra costs and overpricing? At Verlo, there is no middleman. Verlo builds all their own mattresses, then sells directly to you, so you get higher quality for the lowest price. No greedy extra charges for things that have nothing to do with your mattress. Some people call that consumer direct pricing. I just call it smart. Wake up. Sleep better. Verlo.
Most mattress manufacturers build only mattresses that cannot be flipped. To keep costs low, they resort to using cheaper foam, which breaks down quicker and eventually leaves your mattress with a body impression. At Verlo, we put better quality components into our single-sided mattresses. We back them with the best guarantees in the industry. Stop in and see us this month and you'll get second-side savings. If you choose a double-sided mattress, we'll double your savings. Verlo Mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
Get $500 off with second side savings now at Verlo.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Listen at home with your Amazon smart speaker. Alexa, play WMAY. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today with a high near 77. Low tonight about 48. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 78. Low around 56. For your weekend, cloudy on Saturday. High near 77. Sunday, sunny with a high near 77, and Monday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the 4-day super sale, September 15th through the 18th, and get 40% off paints and stains with prices starting at $26.69. That means 40% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 40% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Pay Doctor Portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Late last week, Governor J.B. Pritzker joined officials in Kankakee County to cut the ribbon on a $2 billion electric vehicle battery plant from a Chinese company called Goshen. And they're looking to spend $2 billion on this facility. But they're getting $500 million worth, if not more, in various tax credits and incentives from state and local governments. Well, what's this Chinese company really doing here, and what kind of questions are there? To talk more about this is Mark Glennon. He is the founder of WirePoints. He joins us now at Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Mark, thanks for taking time. Of course, a lot of money, a lot of tax incentives here. Jobs, I think they said 2,600 jobs. But some concerns about this Chinese-linked company getting these kind of tax credits in Illinois. What's going on?
Yeah, it's quite a controversy in other states where Goshen is also building things, in Michigan in particular. Actually, the $500 million that Illinois is putting into it is just the start. That, of course, comes from state taxpayers. But the extraordinary thing is that under the federal tax credits, this is part of the Inflation Reduction Act, enormous credits are available. And the source that we have indicates that these will come to some $6.5 billion over the first 5 years. $6.5 billion for a plant that's only going to cost $2 billion to build. Now, this is tracked closely by a company called Good Jobs First. It's a think tank in Washington, and they have detailed reports out this. I spoke to them about their estimate. It's all based on a formula of the capacity of the plant. But these are astonishing amounts to subsidize in any event. Just the $500 million from the state is $200,000 per job, which is very high in this industry.
So obviously the tax incentive is something that you can pick apart and question whether or not it's justifiable. We've had a lot of questions about the EDGE tax credit in Illinois and how it may produce short-term jobs, but in the long term, are those jobs sustainable without those tax credits? Same thing can go for the conversation about tax credits for renewable energy programs in general. Are they sustainable in the long run, or are they only popular because they're getting these tax credits? So there's that conversation to be had, Mark. But obviously, we've got this company having come from a Chinese company, but aren't all companies out of China, like, they have to give the keys to the store over to the Chinese Communist Party?
That's my opinion. Now, online, you can find a lot of criticism of Goshen, particularly in Michigan, because this has become very controversial there. Goshen is alleged, you'll find these stories in many places on the web, Daily Caller, Daily Signal, for instance, and Fox News, others, of particular ties that this company has to the Chinese Communist Party, individuals there. Now, I don't know how much of that is true. I'm not going to speculate on that, but I am certain that that general risk that you described is there. And just a couple of months ago, the Chinese government put out a directive to all its citizens saying, we expect you to spy this is part of your obligation to your nation. And they offered rewards and such for it. So, this is suspicious.
Mark Glennon with us. He is founder of WirePoints here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, and we're discussing the $500 million in tax incentives for a $2 billion plant in Kankakee County that is going to manufacture these EV batteries, essentially. Now, this is, REV tax credits a part of this as well, and that's the Reimagine electric vehicles. We've seen other instances of foreign companies. I think a French company, Lion Electric, got some tax credits to, start up a electric bus manufacturing facility. But Illinois itself has been kind of slow to adopt and attract a lot of these types of businesses despite these tax credits. We've seen other companies go to other states, like in Indiana, for instance. Even though we have these tax credits, what do you think are some of the reasons businesses are making their decisions to go to one state or the other?
Well, they are induced by the amount of credits and the business climate and everything else that's given by the state. This was a central part of course, the Pritzker administration's, they called it an industrial policy to attract electric vehicle and battery makers here. But they've been striking out. They've had a very poor record, I think, in the last 13 or so. Cranes reported that last 13 big announcements, Illinois got none of them. So obviously there's concern that Illinois kind of rushed into this and overspent on it. And certainly the federal government is overspending on this, in my opinion. And there's a big push to repeal entirely the Inflation Reduction Act, so-called Inflation Reduction Act, where these credits were granted. Republicans voted against it unanimously when it first passed. And somebody's going to need to take a close look at this because it's just crazy.
Mark, another tax credit story that we're going to touch on in the next segment deals with the Invest in Kids tax credit, which is the Invest in Kids Act, allowing for private donors to give to a fund that then granting organizations can draw from to give scholarships to families to send their kids to a school of their choice. Of course, that program has been around for almost 5 years now. It's set to expire at the end of this year if lawmakers don't approve it. I guess if you could, is that worthy of renewing? And how do you compare and contrast that type of tax credit for private donors to give school scholarships to, a tax credit for a business to bring in jobs or to set up an EV power plant, for instance?
It's almost laughable, Greg, to compare those. Of course, the Invest in Kids Act is a tiny school choice program that we have that gives scholarships to a few thousand per year. And yes, it's due to expire. We don't know whether Pritzker is going to agree to its renewal. It's got national attention right now because of the embarrassment put on it by the head of the Chicago Teachers Union. Stacey Davis Gates was found out to be sending her child to a private school after calling private schools racist institutions and people who support school choice fascists and such. So she's been on CNN, Fox, CNN, many other national outlets being embarrassed by this. She's basically making a case for school choice. Hopefully that will have an effect.
Mark Glennon, founder of WirePoints, greatly appreciate you taking the time as always, and I imagine we'll touch on these issues and other issues. WirePoints, of course, they do a job of looking at data, analyzing the data, putting it out there in very simple terms, and you guys also aggregate a whole bunch of news that people need to know, not just from Illinois, but elsewhere. Give us details on how people can get that stuff.
Thanks so much, Greg. Take care.
You too. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Again, Mark Glennon with WirePoints. All right, stay tuned. We got more to get to here on WMAY, including the conversation about the Invest in Kids Act. So stay tuned. It's here with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY at 7:19. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where today you've got a high of 77, the low of 48. Friday, sunny skies, 78 the high. Saturday, mostly sunny, the high of 77. And then Sunday, we're looking at sunshine with a high of 77. By Monday, the high of 78 with sunny skies. It's about 50 degrees out there right now at 7:19. From Culver's West on Wabash.
Deliver smiles, butter burgers, fresh custard, and great service. Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all positions.
Are you wanting to hire a new cleaning company for your business? Do you want a company that is professional and has excellent customer service? Hi, I'm Kirk, the guy in a bow tie and founder of Clean Impact. We're a local cleaning company who cares about making things right. There's no need to wait any longer. We can make the transition to Clean Impact simple and painless. You can benefit from our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Customer service and keeping your office clean and healthy are our #1 priorities.
Trust Clean Impact with your business cleaning questions and needs. To start a conversation, visit cleanimpactllc.com today.
Join the fight against cancer at Denim & Diamonds 2023. This year's gala is Saturday, October 14th at the Crown Plaza, Springfield. As always, all money raised stays right here in Central Illinois, supporting local cancer research and patient comforts at Simmons Cancer Institute at SIU School of Medicine. Tickets and tables are available at siumed.edu/cancer. Denim & Diamonds is sponsored by Quick and Easy, Memorial Health, Simmons Hanley Conroy, Isringhausen Imports, Jeff and Tina Bennett, Roland and Linda Foles, and the Noonan Patton Group at Merrill Lynch.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is the sporting goods store that's all about fun. And a new location is coming to Springfield. With great brands at the best prices, you'll always find the gear you need to play the games you love and enjoy your favorite outdoor activities with your favorite people. Academy has it all in store and online. No matter how you have fun out there, your next adventure starts here. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoors store is coming soon to Springfield. Until then, check out academy.com.
AJ's Corner would like to thank the community for years of support and would like to invite you to come in and check out their newly remodeled facility. AJ's Corner is a proud supporter of Glenwood Titans football and in fact will be hosting a post-game party on their recently updated patio after every Titans home game. AJ's Corner has been a part of Chatham for years and they're looking forward to another exciting season of Glenwood football. Go Titans!
Hello, everybody. Cousin Bill with Illinois Paving. And the Burrs are here. September, October, November. So if you need a new driveway done this year, you better call now. When others say no, they can't get to you this year, Illinois Paving says yes, with immediate openings available. So call Cousin Bill, 788-7777. 788-7777.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You know, when you've got a goal and you get close to the finish line, you can really look back and just look at the determination and how quick you can actually attain that goal. Well, Green Hyundai, they're about to attain that goal of opening up a new facility and tons of inventory being moved in anticipation of that. And it's just around the corner. Mike Quimby, stand by with Green Hyundai to tell you all about it. Mike.
You're right, Greg. Hey, here we go. We have an official opening date of November the 1st. So we have 45 days to sell all this inventory down because Hyundai's going to ship us a whole 400 cars more. Okay? So it's major for us to move this along so that we can have room and be able to take that inventory and not have to turn it down. So the deals are slick. We have lowered our profit margins. We have stepped up on trades and put more in trades to move cars now. So opportunity only knocks now for you out here on Dirksen Parkway as the king on Dirksen, the green on Dirksen, right there in front of JCPenney's. Been there for a long time. Is selling down the new car inventory. So come out and see us. 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, your car dealer, Green Hyundai.
Mike Quimby, Green Hyundai. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Dozens of families rallied in Chicago yesterday to show their support for the Invest in Kids School Scholarship Program that's set to expire at the end of this year if state lawmakers do not re-up or reauthorize the program. It's not a taxpayer-funded program. However, it is a privately funded program where individuals can get a 75% Illinois income tax credit. And teachers' unions oppose it because they say that's money that should be going to public schools, even though $350 million additional public tax dollars are going to public schools year after year after year. Public schools right now in the state of Illinois take about one of every five tax dollars that the state brings in to go to public schools. That's on the same level of the amount of funding that goes towards pensions in each state budget. So you've got that issue. But this private school choice scholarship program was part of an effort to get everybody together on supporting the school funding formula change that allowed for that additional $350 million a year to go to public schools. And the idea was, listen, some of these public schools aren't a good fit for some children, and especially for some children from families of lesser means. So they set up this privately funded school choice program, the only school choice program that Illinois has, that allows for lower income families to get those private donations to then pay scholarships to private schools. It's set to expire at the end of this year, and it's something that I think is going to be debated quite a bit during veto session, but there's a lot of other things that veto session is going to have to contend with. But one of the families was rallying Sabrina Sibby of Southside Chicago. She's got 4 boys involved in the program, and she said that she may have to quit her job if the program goes by the wayside.
But like I said, I probably would opt out to homeschooling, which would definitely be difficult for me because then I would have to quit my job. I would have to work on basically how he's going to get all of the things that he needs to get. And I'm still sure that it's going to be like a financial burden for me because I still have to purchase certain things.
And she went on to talk about how her child just doesn't feel safe in Chicago public schools.
So I did notice a very huge grade boost when I switched him out of one school and into the other. It seemed like he was more aware of his educational setting as opposed to now I don't have to worry about if I feel safe or not. He was more.
So you've got, of course, this an ongoing conversation. We'll see where it goes during fall veto session, but that's just one of several things that they could tackle during that 6 days worth of fall veto session. You want to keep track of all of what's going on? Follow me, bishoponair@gmail.com is the email address, but you can also find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, also on YouTube and Facebook as well. So go make it happen. Again, just search Bishop on Air. It's now 7:30, and coming back, we'll open it up for your phone calls at 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. We'll talk about the impeachment inquiry that the U.S. House is putting forward, and also review some of the corporate press and how it's being reported. But I want to hear from you directly at 217-629-7970. Phone lines are open for you. We'll get to your calls coming up in about 9 minutes, so make it happen. 7:31 from Culver's West on Wabash. Here's some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: parents looking for a date night tomorrow can drop off their kids at the Hanson Robinson Zoo from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Children can play, create, and learn about the wild world while their parents spend a couple of hours off doing grown-up things. Pizza and snacks provided, or parents may send a packed dinner if they like. Registration is $30 to $35, then $5 for each additional child. More information at WMAY.com. What insect migrates 2,000 miles each year, has a wingspan under 4 inches, and weighs less than a paperclip? This Saturday at Lincoln Memorial Garden, 5 to 12-year-old children will have the opportunity to learn about monarch butterflies, the only butterfly known to migrate such distances annually from Canada to the volcanic mountain ranges of central Mexico. The class is free, but class size is limited. Registration information at WMAY.com. What would September be like without Oktoberfest? This Saturday at Buzz Bomb Brewing, the festivities begin at 3 o'clock with family-friendly activities including food, music by 6 bands, games for all, and, of course, local craft brews. There's a $10 cover, and doors will remain open until 1 o'clock in the morning. Buzz Bomb Brewing is located at 406 East Adams Street, downtown. The Illinois Department of Public Health recommends the updated COVID-19 vaccines, which arrive amid a recent wave of severe COVID-19 cases across the U.S., including increased hospitalizations and deaths in Illinois. In order to avoid a triple-demic of flu, COVID-19, and RSV, public health officials urge Americans to stay updated on seasonal immunizations and consider multiple vaccinations in one visit. For individuals aged 5 and above, the new vaccines are authorized regardless of previous vaccinations, but must be administered 2 months following the last dose of any COVID-19 vaccine. According to the latest statement from Archer Daniels Midland, 4 workers injured in Sunday afternoon's explosion in Decatur remain hospitalized, while 1 has been released. Corn plant operations are expected to resume normally in coming days, while the majority of protein production at the facility is expected to take some weeks to recover. The company still has not announced a cause of the explosion. Walk the Path of Suffragists as a guide discusses the stories of several women who helped make Illinois the first state east of the Mississippi to guarantee voting rights for women. The free walking tour begins at the Lincoln Home Visitor Center and concludes at the Illinois State Capitol. Other stops include the Illinois Governor's Mansion, the Vachel Lindsay Home, and the Dana Thomas House, but do not include the interiors of the sites. The program is every Friday at 10 a.m. until November 9th. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Big Bad Guy, Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Everywhere you are with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today with a high near 77. Low tonight about 48. Tomorrow sunny with a high near 78. Low around 56. For your weekend, cloudy on Saturday. High near 77. Sunday, sunny with a high near 77. And Monday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health: meditation. It starts with proper breathing. By breathing in slowly for 5 or 10 seconds and exhaling, counting the same way, for just a few minutes each day has been a big deal for many people as they reach a new level of relaxation. Now, that's just a start. If your feelings of depression and hopelessness are accentuated with drugs and alcohol, then you may need some professional help. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychiatrists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Gateway also uses meditation as a key component of their successful treatment. Your insurance covers the cost, and the Family Medical Leave Act protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
Hi there. Just want to take a minute to tell you about, actually remind you about BLH Computers. They are the place to take that computer when strange things start to occur, maybe popping up on your screen. You're using the computer for business. You're also using it for personal stuff. So you're obviously downloading files. You're hopping on and off of Zoom and Google Meet sessions for work. You've got tabs open. They got the spreadsheets, the Facebook, the other social medias in there. Your email is thrown in there as well. And all of the updates are coming down the line from your malware stuff, your Norton antivirus, your Microsoft operating system. That is going to be slowing things down for sure. And it might be time for some badly needed repairs too. That is where I suggest BLH Computers. If you buy a computer from BLH Computers, you get the BLH guarantee, no labor charge, in-stock parts are free. Even if you don't buy it from BLH Computers, just a flat labor charge, in-stock parts are still included. So keep things running quickly and efficiently with the help of BLH Computers in Springfield, in Jacksonville, also in Taylorville. Learn more online, blhcomputers.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Well, an impeachment inquiry being advanced in the U.S. Congress, something that House Republicans who control the House are looking to get some answers to some of the questions about what Joe Biden knew of his son Hunter's business dealings and how much the Biden family took in campaign, or whether it's campaign, and whether they took in some donations or payments, however you want to characterize it, from foreign nationals, from foreign companies, from actors out of China, out of Russia, out of Ukraine, and several other countries. So this is something that's kind of fascinating to sit back and watch. As you know, an Illinois reporter, I just look at Illinois government, and I read a lot about how other outlets are reporting on Illinois government, and it's interesting to see how these things get reported. But what's really fascinating is looking at this particular story of the impeachment inquiry being announced and how the corporate press are practically reporting or not reporting on this. I'd like to hear your thoughts. 217-629-7970. How would you grade the media's coverage of all of this so far? Now, of course, one outlet has been doing a substantial amount of reporting on this for the past 3 or 4 years, if not longer, and that is Fox News. And people can quickly just say, "Oh, Fox News is right wing. It's right wing talking points." And listen, there's room for that, just as there's room for saying CNN is liberal propaganda, or saying MSNBC is liberal propaganda, or hearing stories out of ABC News or CBS Radio or wherever it may be. You're getting your news and you see what kinds of stories they're choosing to tell you about at the top of the hour, and this is absent from that. That's something I think, a truly honest, rational review can look at and say, there's clearly some bias going on here. And you got to think about the shoe on the other foot. It's not whataboutism, it's the shoe on the other foot. Because when there were impeachment proceedings started without an impeachment inquiry by the former House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, against former President Donald Trump, not once but twice, they didn't do an impeachment inquiry. They just jumped right in and, you could say, I guess, without evidence, began to impeach the former president. Now, it's a different tact they're taking with this particular case. But what's also fascinating is to see just how the White House has been responding to this, putting out a memo to media outlets with a strategy. So this is fascinating because, again, you've got the White House trying to shrug this off while they send out a playbook of sorts. Dismiss, compartmentalize, scold, and so on. But the White House has said that Joe Biden was not involved with his son's business affairs. And so far, despite investigations, Republicans, they say, have unearthed no significant evidence. Significant evidence. While previous Associated Press article said, hey, they don't have any evidence. We'll hear from U.S. Congressman Jamie Comer here in a moment about the evidence that they do have and what it's starting to look like and what evidence they're going to be looking for here in the weeks ahead. But let's go ahead and get your phone calls and reaction. How do you think this is being handled so far by the corporate press? Good morning.
Have that when you're in university and you think that you signed up for a class and you didn't go all year, but you have to take the final. That's the grade I give the media. A complete F. They didn't even show up to the classes. They keep saying how there's no evidence, yet we have the financial records, we have the shell companies, they have they have pure obstruction by the DOJ, and I don't get how they can keep just ignoring all these facts, and why they might not be a crime on the surface just to receive money. People don't spread money across LLCs and shell companies. Unless I'm checked, I'm not giving my nephew millions of dollars from work I'm doing overseas. I mean, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. I think they need to have this formal investigation and inquiry so that they can finally stop getting stonewalled and finally start opening up some of these books and start releasing some of these recordings with foreign investors and everybody that needs to happen.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the call, and I think the mountain of evidence includes an FBI source telling the FBI that, hey, there's all this money that came through, and there was this coercion campaign with the vice president at that time trying to coerce the Ukrainian government to fire a prosecutor looking into the gas and oil company that Biden's son was on the board of. You've got the suspicious activity reports, which are financial transaction reports that are red flags that go up anytime a certain threshold is breached when it comes to transferring funds from one fund to another or across the U.S. border from other countries. You've got also Hunter Biden's laptop, which has yet to be unverified. When the story first came out before the November 2020 election, you had a bunch of Biden-associated intelligence officials say, oh, this is Russian disinformation, gave Biden the ability to say that during the debate with Trump. Remember? Then That story was suppressed on social media because it was considered misinformation. But after the election, miraculously, in 2021, they're like, oh, wait a second. A year afterwards, maybe this is legit. Maybe Hunter Biden's laptop isn't disinformation. So now we're at the point where, while this has been reported on for 3+ years by some outlets, you've got catch-up from other media outlets. And now, instead of focusing on that, they seem to be focusing more on the issue of Biden's fitness to be in office and whether or not he's even up to the task for another term. So that's where they're focusing on now, is, having op-eds spell out that Biden's old. The majority of American people think that he's not fit for another term. And even the majority of American people think that he knew of his son's business dealings. But that aside, Biden's unfit. So it seems to be what they're going to go with for the next couple of weeks, instead of focusing on the impeachment inquiry and the need for more information out. And I want to hear from you again, 217-629-7970. Your assessments of the media's coverage thus far on the impeachment inquiry. And has it been balanced? Consider it was wall-to-wall coverage of Russia-Trump collusion, Russia-Trump collusion, Russia-Trump collusion, Russia, Stormy Daniels, Trump, Trump and Ivanka, Chinese branding, and, Russia's, the marionettes pulling the strings for Trump. And it was wall-to-wall coverage of that. And then when the impeachment started, it was wall-to-wall coverage of that. But now, with Biden facing an impeachment inquiry, there's almost crickets. Is it stunning? I want to hear from you. 217-629-7970. Good morning.
Greg, the word's been put out. They'll get him out of there. They just, hey, don't worry about this. We'll take care of it. We'll get him out of here. The wheels are turning. But no, it'll never be on national media like that. It'll be a quiet, God bless him, he had a fall, something, and hello, Kamala.
Well, and I don't even know if that's going to be palatable. She's not polling that
They'll
great.
Lose. Yeah. They'll lose. Don't worry. She won't be she will not run, but she'll be the interim. I think they'll get rid of him before the election.
Well, and probably before you actually have impeachment proceedings move forward with a stack of evidence that could implicate not just Biden, but the intelligence community. And that's something else. The FBI, the CIA, that's something else that could very well come out of all of this, is their role in spreading misinformation and election interference. All right, let's hear what Jamie Comer had to say at a news conference yesterday about the media's coverage and just the stack of all kinds of evidence and what he says is what they're looking for now with an impeachment inquiry moving forward. Here is Jamie Comer from yesterday.
These are very serious allegations. Associated Press just wrote a story that said there's no evidence of wrongdoing. What a disgrace to journalism. And I don't complain much. I take it. But that's just not true. And I think the CNN poll 2 weeks ago that showed 63% of Americans believe Joe Biden was involved in his family's business schemes is reason why we should be investigating this. Moving forward, we have requested unredacted pseudonym emails from the National Archives. There are over 5,000 of those that we want to review. We have to get President Obama has to sign off on those, so he's supposedly reviewing them as we speak. We hope to get those. We hope to get the president's son and brother's personal bank accounts. We also want to interview people who have knowledge of some of the things that President Biden may have done in exchange for the millions and millions of dollars that his family received from these foreign nationals. And lastly, we plan on having a hearing in September that will kind of evaluate some of the things that we believe have happened from the Biden family that are in violation with our laws.
So again, Jamie Comer, Congressman, talking about the impeachment inquiry and what they plan on doing in the weeks ahead. I'd like to hear from you at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com or find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can comment that way. Again, just search Bishop on Air and make it happen. All right, coming up. Just a little bit of a preview of the no cash bail that begins Monday in the state of Illinois. Statewide, Illinois becoming the first state to abolish money bond. So we'll touch on that and then talk next hour about flying high and various programs at the Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. So stay tuned for that, plus more open phones. It's all on the way here with WMAY. 7:49 now from Culver's West on Wabash. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where today you've got a high of around 77 degrees, the low down to 48 with clear skies throughout, and then for Friday, 78 the high with sunny skies. Saturday, mostly cloudy, the high of 77. Sunday, sunny with the high of 77, and then Monday, the high of 78 with sunshine. Right now, it's around 50 degrees, 750 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Work with a team that cares about being the best part of the customer's day. Apply today at Culver's West on Wabash.
It's a new day, a new way at Green Hyundai. Over 100 new Hyundais in stock and more arriving daily. Come see why Hyundai is the best-selling new car in Sangamon County for the last 16 years.
That's right. Motor Trend Magazine's big third row 7 and 8 passenger SUV comparison. Hyundai Palisade placed number 1 over the competition. Motor Trend quotes Palisade, lowest price, best fuel economy, and more luxury, backed up by America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000.
Also, TrueCar quotes best overall SUV, the Tucson. Can you believe the best SUV is under $30,000? Yeah, base price at only $28,000 window price.
Largest inventory we've had in 3 years. Pushing 200 units on the ground. Get to Green Hyundai today. Save big on Hyundai's value. Green Hyundai, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, Springfield.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, get the whole store. Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power. Batteries of all shapes and sizes. Excellent service. Exceptional value.
They're called Motobat batteries, and we have them at Rex. Motobats are batteries for motorcycles that are powerful enough to handle all your accessories. As you add new gadgets to your motorcycle, the standard factory battery may not be enough to handle it all. The Motobat battery is designed to send enough juice to the whole motorcycle and keep you moving down the road. At Rex Battery, we have all kinds of batteries for all kinds of vehicles. The Motobat battery has a quad flex terminal design, shortening the path to the battery cable. That means you get quicker power delivery and improved starting ability. If you have a motorcycle, you need Motobat. Rex Battery on Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
If your computer screen is showing some unusual stuff, it could be the result of all of those downloads, Zoom meetings, spreadsheets, or just all of those system updates. It may be time for some badly needed repairs. With a flat labor fee and in-stock parts included, repairing your computers is easy at BLH Computers. Check out BLH Computers in Taylorville, Jacksonville, also in Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
Barcom Security. You know, we're the Have a Secure Day security systems company, right here out on South Cokie Mill Road. Family owned and managed for nearly 50 years. We are local experts in residential, small business, and commercial security systems. Family owned, family values, treating you just like family. Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll actually pick up the phone. You can check us out at barcomsecurity.com, and as always, have a secure day.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
Well, starting Monday, no more money bond, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. We are set to talk with Sheriff Jack Campbell tomorrow about this and a few other issues, but obviously it's not just in Sangamon County. It's going to be statewide with the end of money bond as part of the Pretrial Fairness Act, which is the measure that passed in early 2021. It was an initiative from the Black Caucus at the Illinois State House, with Democrats pushing this in the final hours of the previous General Assembly. I think it was the 101st General Assembly. It was during a lame duck session. And early January, they pass it, and then they get it signed, and it was part of the Safety Act, a whole bunch of different kinds of regulations on police and criminal justice reforms. But then you had multiple updates that had to happen, including leading into the November 2022 election, where there were concerns about what would be a detainable offense. And those questions really dominated the headlines for the political season. But Democrats came out on top, even gaining seats in the Illinois House. People may criticize the map that Democrats passed to do that, but Democrats will say that, hey, they had the winning message. So obviously some changes made just before the end of the year of 2020, but that didn't stave off challenges from more than 60 different states' attorneys across the state that sued to block the Safety Act and the Pretrial Fairness Act. And a Kankakee County judge found that the law was unconstitutional for violating several provisions, including separation of powers. But while the act was supposed to go into effect with no cash bail beginning January 1st, the Illinois Supreme Court on New Year's Eve came in and suspended the law entirely across the state and laid out the briefing schedule for them to actually get this heard. And we had a decision on that 2 months ago where the Illinois Supreme Court upheld the Pretrial Fairness Act. So now we're going to see it implemented on Monday. They gave that September 18th date for it to go into effect. And proponents say that people are innocent until proven guilty, and they shouldn't have to languish behind bars pending trial. But you have others who are saying that this could cause chaos in the courts with the implementation of no more having cash bail, and people worried that it could lead to an increased number of recidivism. It could clog the courts. It could possibly clog the jails, or it could lead to mass types of case dismissals. What does that look like? So we're going to be heading into what some may consider uncharted territory come Monday when the end of money bond kicks in. All right, stay tuned. Much more coming up, including an overview of what's coming up at the airport. So stay tuned. It's here with WMAY. Coming up on 8 o'clock now, I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. follow me anywhere. Bishop on Air. It's all one word, bishoponair.com. If you want to find out the contact information and my various social media accounts. So make sure you hit that up and follow me, because we got tons to get to. It's not Friday yet, right? Come on. Why can't it be Friday yet? All I want is a little bit of Friday. That's all I'm looking for.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's news and talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Justin Finch. On the brink of a crippling strike, the United Auto Workers and Detroit's Big Three automakers deadline midnight tonight. ABC's Terry Moran in Detroit.
UAW President Shawn Fain, if it in fact tonight at midnight they go out on strike, is planning what he calls surgical strikes that will not shut down every single plant in each of the Big Three automakers, but make them feel it and get attention, while at the same time allowing union members to continue to draw a paycheck.
Some of the biggest issues: union demands for raises, a shorter work week, and a return to a traditional pension system. The automakers say they're in a financial bind as they build more electric cars. Pennsylvania prison escapee Danilo Cavalcante telling all behind bars.
Subject is in custody, confirmed subject is in custody.
Authorities say Danilo Cavalcante admitted during 4 hours of questioning that law enforcement got so close, officers almost stepped on him 3 times during the manhunt.
We were only 5 or 6 feet away.
Surviving on watermelon and drinking water from a stream while burying his bodily waste in the woods to avoid detection. Cavalcante escaped a Philadelphia area prison on August 31st, days after a jury convicted him of killing his ex-girlfriend.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert. Investigators also say Cavalcante was planning a carjacking so he could flee to Canada. And in Libya, deadly flooding leaving at least 6,000 people killed.
The violent force of the water washing away entire neighborhoods. Bodies swept out to sea, buildings reduced to rubble, tossing car after car, some piled on top of each other. Crews finding a young boy's body in the rubble as his father looks on, overcome with grief.
ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge. This is ABC News.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit
All right, coming up this hour, we've got to open the phones up for you to sound off on all we've covered so far, from court rulings out of New Mexico and California dealing with firearms, a court ruling out of Texas dealing with immigration. We talked about the Invested Kids Act. We talked about the impeachment inquiry. So we'll open phones up for you. But first, I want to tell you about the exciting stuff happening at the Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. John Sowles will join us with a local club getting kids interested in aviation, plus more. So stay tuned. That's on the way next here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. It's 8:04.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, according to the latest statement from Archer Daniels Midland, 4 workers injured in Sunday afternoon's explosion in Decatur remain hospitalized, while 1 has been released. Corn plant operations are expected to resume normally in the coming days, while the majority of protein production at the facility is expected to take some weeks to recover. The company still has not announced a cause of the explosion. What would September be like without Oktoberfest? This Saturday at Buzz Bomb Brewing, the festivities begin at 3 o'clock with family-friendly activities including food, music by 6 bands, games for all, and, of course, local craft brews. There's a $10 cover, and doors will remain open until 1 o'clock in the morning. Buzz Bomb Brewing is located at 406 East Adams Street, downtown. Parents looking for a date night tomorrow can drop off their kids at the Hanson Robinson Zoo from 6 o'clock until 9. Children can play, create, and learn about the wild world while their parents spend a couple of hours off doing grown-up things. Pizza and snacks are provided, or parents may send a packed dinner if they like. Registration is $30 to $35, then $5 for each additional child. More information at WMAY.com. Lincoln Land Community College will host a traveling art exhibit, Stamps of Hope 2, showcasing Syrian refugee artwork from the Zakatari refugee camp in Jordan from September 15th to October 13th. The exhibit can be viewed weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Tretter Museum Murray Gallery, located in Menard Hall on the LLCC Springfield campus. The public is invited to attend a gallery talk and reception featuring Middle Eastern cuisine on Thursday, September 28th at 5 o'clock p.m. in the Tretter Center. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
You love sharing time with your kids, but sometimes sharing space is a different story. When it's time for a larger home, Heartland Bank will work with you to find the right-sized loan. What would you do with the extra breathing room? When you're ready to make a move, Heartland Bank is here to help. Apply for a loan online or contact one of our mortgage bankers to get started.
Heartland Bank is an equal housing lender.
Summer Bonanza means more business in the fall months? Hire right with Indeed. Their integrated solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been this easy. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credits.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives.
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Everywhere you are, everywhere you live, with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or listen at home with your Amazon smart speaker. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today with a high near 77, low tonight about 48. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 78, low around 56. For your weekend, cloudy on Saturday, high near 77. Sunday, sunny with a high near 77. And Monday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
Stop waiting to get better quality sleep. Labor Day at Hendricks Home Furnishings is your chance to save big on top mattress brands. Feel the trusted support of Sealy. Experience the legendary comfort of Tempur-Pedic and discover the one-of-a-kind craftsmanship of Stearns & Foster. All with savings up to $800 off select adjustable sets. Now until September 18th only. Find better sleep today at Hendricks Home Furnishings, where you can always talk to the owners. Route 4 in Verdon and on the web at hendricks.tv.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Do you like gadgets? Techie kind of stuff that you can control with your phone? Like your home security system, for instance. If you have a security system and you're not able to control everything with your phone, you're really missing out. With the virtual keypad on your phone, you can even watch your cameras and control other systems in your house besides just the security system from anywhere at any time. Curious? Call the Springfield office of Barcom Security or check out barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
A few months ago, Megan and I were able to take a ride in a beautiful plane, and the pilot of that plane joins us now. Just a magnificent plane. And getting the opportunity to get in that and take to the skies with some pilots here locally. There's no other experience, and you can actually share that experience with your young ones coming up Saturday. So what's going on? Well, to join us to talk about that and more is indeed the pilot of this aircraft that we're seeing on the video screen. If you're watching along online, John Sauls, he joins us in studio. John, thanks for taking time with us this morning, and super excited to share with people what you got going on. So good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we've got a few exciting things coming on. First of all, this Saturday is our Young Eagle Rally from 10 till 2. People can learn more about that program at youngeagles.org and then register their kids at weekday or youngeaglesday.org to sign up and register kids to take a free airplane ride, 8 through 17 years old. It's a wonderful program. We're going into our 31st year. Wow. We've flown 3.2 million kids since the program started in 1972. But also we're talking about scholarship opportunities. As everybody knows, there's a pilot shortage as well as a mechanic shortage. Right. And we have scholarship opportunities. We've given away 4 scholarships already. Our 4th student pilot just soloed last week. Wow. And so we're excited for him. He's moving
awesome.
on. Right, but our first time in our chapter's recent history that we're actually going to try to do a fundraising event to raise money specifically for scholarships. Yeah. And not only do we have the race scholarship where we give it's going to be a $12,000 scholarship next year to 16 through 19-year-olds to earn their private pilot license, but there's other scholarship opportunities that EAA offers to local chapters like ours to provide for camps and whatnot for young kids.
So, and that's going to be a separate event, not coming up this weekend.
That's correct.
That's going to be later on this month. So
Right.
tell us about Wings and Wheels.
Wings and Wheels is, again, our first fundraiser. Since we're new to the car show industry as an aviation group, we're kind of putting our toes in the water. A lot of people in aviation love cars as well, and so it's a great mix, we feel, to provide an opportunity for people to come out and show off their not only cars but airplanes. And we hope to have a few airplanes on the ramp that are kind of unique and cool to look at, as well as a bunch of cars. A number of car clubs have committed to coming to join us, and that'll be on September 30th out at Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport. That's going to be from 11 till 3 p.m. and we're just going to serve hot dogs and hamburgers for a $10 donation to this scholarship fundraising.
I think this is a great thing you guys got going on. Not just the Young Eagles, of course, tomorrow, or not tomorrow. I feel like it's Friday, by the way. It should be Friday, by the way. But Young Eagles is going to be happening Saturday from 10 to 2. It's a great way to get your young one interested in aviation, and that's with the Young Eagles Saturday. But again, Wings and Wheels coming up September 30th. Right. Kind of in the same vicinity, right?
Yeah,
in that same area.
Actually, it's going to be over at the Stellar Aviation FBO hangar, and we'll have the hangar open, and people will be able to access on the north side. We'll have signage up to point people in the right direction for both the general parking and the car shows or show cars.
And obviously, a lot of airplanes are going to be there as well.
That's what we're hoping for, yes. Yes.
Well, and what's great is when you took my wife Megan and I on a flight down to Litchfield, it was incredible to see the community of it wasn't just Litchfield. You had people flying in from all over the place on a Saturday to get some pancakes, and that itself is just a really cool thing you guys do in the aviation community.
Yeah, most or a lot of local clubs, not only EAA chapters, but other aviation-related organizations do pancake and sausage breakfast. And we debated about doing that, but we decided to try a car show at over the noon hour and just hamburgers and hot dogs. Something real simple, but we hope to have a good time, and we appreciate anybody that could come out and help us out with that effort.
It's a big effort, and as you mentioned right off the bat, there's a shortage of pilots and mechanics in the field of aviation, and it pays real well, John. I mean, you do it as an amateur just for fun, as a hobby, to get people interested and whatnot, but I tell you, it really is. It pays well if people are going to be ending up being an aviation mechanic.
Our current scholar that, like I said, just sold last week is planning to go over to Lift Academy, one of many airline-owned training academies, to eventually become a co-pilot on a regional jet, literally in a couple of years after he gets out of their program. So it's amazing program, and for those that are interested in becoming a pilot, that's a great thing. And of course, right here in Springfield, we've got a real gem with our Lincoln Land Community College's A&P program that so many people don't even know about. If your kid is mechanically inclined, by all means, it's a great opportunity. They have a wonderful program. They often feed to Standard Aero for internships and whatnot, so they can get more experience and become a licensed A&P mechanic for aircraft, and there's as much of a demand for them as pilots.
John Sauls with the Young Eagles and the Experimental Aircraft Association, EAA local chapter. Several events coming up. Of course, Saturday they've got the Young Eagles. And is this kind of a rain check date as well?
No. This is actually a scheduled one. Our rain check or rain date on that would be October 14th if we have to cancel. But the weather's looking good, and so we're hoping that we can pull this off. We've had to cancel 4 this spring and summer due to weather because we don't fly even if it's sunny. But the winds are extreme. We don't like to take kids up for a bumpy airplane ride, so we'll cancel for those reasons as well.
So we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, but it could clear out. Still a few days before Saturday. But a high of 77.
Right. Yeah.
That's going to be nice.
And nice northwesterly winds, so we should be able to take off right there in front of the Lincoln Land hangar. And then just again, our Facebook page, you can search EAA Chapter 770 on Facebook, and we've got links there to both the fly-in, drive-in, or Wings and Wheels car show, as well as the Young Eagle Rally.
So make that happen. Get it on your calendar, not just this Saturday with the Young Eagles from 10 to 2, but also September 30th, it's Wings and Wheels, a car show and fly-in. So you'll see some incredible feats of engineering when it comes to aviation and also automobiles. John Sauls, thank you so much for taking time with us.
Thank you.
We'll talk again in the near future. And you still got to get me up in your, what is that thing, a gyrocopter?
Gyroplane, yes.
A gyroplane?
Yep. We've got to do that.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, it's starting to get a little cold out there, so we'll see if we can get it before the season's over.
You bet.
John, appreciate it. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Thank you.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, now 8:18. And let's take a look at that dependable 5-day forecast, where today you've got a high of 77, sunny skies, the low of 48. Into Friday, sunny with a high of 78. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high of 77. Sunday, 77 the high with sunshine. And then Monday, sunny skies, the high of 78. Right now, around 50 degrees out there at 8:18 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is the sporting goods store that's all about fun. And a new location is coming to Springfield. With great brands at the best prices, you'll always find the gear you need to play the games you love and enjoy your favorite outdoor activities with your favorite people. Academy has it all in store and online. No matter how you have fun out there, your next adventure starts here. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoors store is coming soon to Springfield. Until then, check out academy.com.
Don't miss the Style of Hope fashion show benefiting the communities of Hope. Thursday, September 21st at the BOS Center in downtown Springfield. Doors open at 6 p.m. The runway lights up at 7:30. Featuring local boutiques and models, Children of Hope walk the runway. Pop-up stores will be available, live and silent auctions, high-end hors d'oeuvres, and entertainment galore. Come hear inspiring stories and be moved by Hope's impactful mission. For more info, search the Style of Hope on Facebook or visit hope.us/Style of Hope to purchase your ticket today.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Ricken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store. Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here's what we believe at Rex Battery. You should be able to find the right battery when you need it. Our company started when my dad needed a battery for his car, and he built it himself. Today, more than 50 years later, we are still making sure you can find the right battery you need. And that includes the common batteries people use every day to the hard-to-find batteries used in big farm equipment. While online outlets are struggling with supply chain issues, we have shelves full of batteries. The best part is we're right here in town and ready to help today. Hearing aids, power tools, and the car in your garage. If it takes a battery, you can find the battery at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Stop Waiting to get better quality sleep. Labor Day at Hendricks Home Furnishings is your chance to save big on top mattress brands. Feel the trusted support of Sealy, experience the legendary comfort of Tempur-Pedic, and discover the one-of-a-kind craftsmanship of Stearns & Foster, all with savings up to $800 off select adjustable sets, now until September 18th only. Find better sleep today at Hendricks Home Furnishings, where you can always talk to the owners, Route 4 in Verdon, and on the web at hendricks.tv.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Back at it on this Thursday. Why isn't it not Friday? Come on. But I'd like to, just open things up for you to sound off. 217-629-7970. Save the Humans on YouTube says, "Oh, Greg, definitely take the gyro ride. You're going to love it. They turn on a dime." How high in the air do they turn on a dime? That would be a lot of fun. I think I might have to do that. Also, Save the Human says AOPA and EAA, fantastic organizations. So clearly excited about the events coming up this weekend and September 30th out at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport. But I'd love to hear from you at 217-629-7970 about all the stuff that we've talked about thus far. And there's been a whole bunch that we've covered, including lawsuits and outcomes of those lawsuits in federal court. In New Mexico, you have the governor's executive order essentially prohibiting people from carrying firearms in Albuquerque or in that county. That was issued on Friday. And then yesterday, a federal judge issued a preliminary injunction, which lasts until about October 3rd. So that's that happened in New Mexico yesterday. You had a California judge in federal courts in the appeals court. I believe there's a panel. That's how the appeals courts work. A federal judge panel striking down California's law allowing for lawsuits against the gun industry, saying that it's likely unconstitutional. What that means for Illinois' law that they recently enacted, the governor and Democrats at the behest of Attorney General Kwame Raoul, where you had the measure essentially allowing for lawsuits against manufacturers of firearms or those in the firearm industry for how they advertise. So a similar law over in California struck down by a federal court. What does that mean for the lawsuit against Illinois' law that's in the Southern District of Illinois? I imagine the plaintiffs there are going to take the case out of California as an example of what the federal judge in the Southern District should do to Illinois' law. But we also talked about DACA being found unlawful by a Texas federal judge, and how that could possibly impact an Illinois law that allows for non-citizens in the state to become police officers. Because even Governor J.B. Pritzker, while he said, those who are here as, they got work visas and they're permanent residents, they can be police officers, but the law he signed also allows for deferred action of childhood arrivals, DACA recipients, to become police officers. Well, a federal judge just found in Texas that DACA is unlawful. So how is that going to impact Illinois' law concerning allowing non-citizens to become police officers? So we talked about that. We also discussed tax incentives in a couple of different capacities, one being for a Chinese-linked EV battery manufacturer getting $500 million in tax incentives from state and local governments here in Illinois, let alone whatever tax incentives they're going to get from federal taxpayers. So that's one side of the tax credit conversation. Another side of the tax credit conversation that's set to expire is the Invest in Kids School Choice Scholarship Program. And that's, of course, a school choice program in Illinois that allows for parents to send their kid to a school of their choice. So we talked about that as well. And impeachment. Not a full-blown impeachment as Nancy Pelosi did to Donald Trump not once but twice. without doing an impeachment inquiry, but instead a impeachment inquiry of President Joe Biden being advanced by Republicans. And really fascinating is just how the media has or has not reported on that, or how they've reported on it. So clearly it's something I think is worth watching, and again, taking a look at all of the different stuff that we've got coming up, from lawsuits and the veto session and the 2024 election. Are you buckled up? You ready to rock? It's pretty incredible times we live in. All right. Hey, be sure to check me out on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. That's where you can find a lot of the work I do, including, the stuff for my full-time gig, which is the Center Square and Illinois Radio Network. You can also find me on Facebook. Just search Bishop on Air. It's really that simple. You just got to, go to the little search tab, look at Bishop on Air, and you can connect with me that way. For instance, if you go to the Twitter account, check it out. There's all kinds of story links, segments of interviews and videos that we produced for the morning. You can also watch the show live if you want to. But we've also got all of the news articles that myself and my team put together from the Center Square, focusing on Illinois. But you've got a whole host of other stories you can find at thecentersquare.com as well. But anytime you want to get more information about me, just go to bishoponair.com. It's got all the stuff you need to know, right? You can even find out how to contact me, other links to various outlets, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So all there, again, bishoponair@gmail.com is the email address. All right, got to take a break. It's 8:30. We got the crime of the week coming up and more. So stay tuned. It's here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. It's now 8:31.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: 2 men have climbed Mount Kilimanjaro wearing 3-piece suits, laying claim to the title of the first successful assault of the Kenyan mountain while dressed for the boardroom or a night out. Belgian tailor Tommaso Bordoni and his best friend Alexander Gillen wore suits designed by Bordoni's company as they scaled the highest point in Africa and the highest freestanding mountain in the world, accompanied by a couple of more traditionally attired guides. Friday mornings are a time to get to know some of the people who Lincoln knew while he lived in Springfield. The Lincoln Tomb Historic Site hosts guided visits to the final resting places of Abraham Lincoln's friends, neighbors, and political associates on a 90-minute hike through Oak Ridge Cemetery. Guides will discuss their lives and highlight their interactions with the 16th president. Walks begin every Friday at 9:30 a.m. through November 3rd. Parents looking for a date night tomorrow can drop off their kids at the Hanson Robinson Zoo from 6 o'clock until 9. Children can play, create, and learn about the wild world while their parents spend a couple of hours off doing grown-up things. Pizza and snacks are provided, or parents may send a packed dinner if they like. Registration is $30 to $35, then $5 for each additional child. More information at WMAY.com. Lincoln Land Community College will host a traveling art exhibit, Stamps of Hope 2, showcasing Syrian refugee artwork from the Zakatari refugee camp in Jordan from September 15th to October 13th. The exhibit can be viewed weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Tretter Museum Murray Gallery, located in Menard Hall on the LLCC Springfield campus. The public is invited to attend a gallery talk and reception featuring Middle Eastern cuisine on Thursday, September 28th at 5 o'clock p.m. in the Tretter Center. According to the latest statement from Archer Daniels Midland, 4 workers injured in Sunday afternoon's explosion in Decatur remain hospitalized, while 1 has been released. Corn plant operations are expected to resume normally in coming days, while the majority of protein production at the facility is expected to take some weeks to recover. The company still has not announced a cause of the explosion. The Sangamon County Board approved a resolution this week that will launch a farm-to-school pilot program in the Pawnee School District. The 3-year program will transform the school's food service to a from-scratch program with a diverse menu. The school district said in a statement that the program will allow the school community to connect with local farmers and serve more local food to their students. The Gin Mill's Belly Laughs comedy this Friday night at 6:30 p.m. National touring acts Ronaldo Mercado, Ryan Hallam, Tim Laffey, Al Nimpson, and Richard Bailey are scheduled to perform. The event will be emceed by Corey Stewart from St. Louis. $10 gets you in the door, and the Gin Mill is located at 235 South 5th Street in downtown Springfield. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Listen and watch interviews with the biggest newsmakers. Subscribe to 92.7 WMAY on YouTube.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny skies today with a high near 77. Low tonight about 48. Tomorrow sunny with a high near 78. Low around 56. For your weekend, cloudy on Saturday. High near 77. Sunday, sunny with a high near 77. And Monday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Conn's a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Cons at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Here's a business tip. Small or large, that ranking on Google or any search site is key to building a brand and making money. So how can you track what your competitors are doing to get to the top ranking? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by NetSuite. Gain control over your financials. Get NetSuite's KPI checklist absolutely free at netsuite.com/Kim. That data on your competitors, it's not the easiest to come by unless you know the secret. Enter a search engine optimization tool called SimilarWeb. It's surprisingly simple. SimilarWeb's dashboard comes with a ton of web traffic tools. Just enter your competitor's URL, and it breaks down your competitor's incoming web traffic by source. You get a taste into who's visiting their site. And let's not overlook keyword analysis. With SimilarWeb, you can discover the magical words that are drawing people to websites. So now the big question, is all this data accurate? Nope, but you will gain some valuable insights. That's similarweb.com and get tech smart at getkim.com. Is your business falling behind? Are your employees buried in manual processes? Well, then you need to know 3 numbers, 36,000, 25, and 1. To start, 36,000 businesses have already upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. And this year, NetSuite is celebrating their 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less, close books in days, and drive down costs. And finally, that #1, because your business is one of a kind. NetSuite offers customized solutions for all your KPIs in one efficient system. It's one source of truth to manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist designed to give you consistently excellent performance absolutely free at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim to get your own KPI checklist.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
All right, let's take the time that we do each and every week at this time to see what's going on with the crime of the week and how you can help solve crime. Here at Sangamon and Menard County, Coordinator Drew Zavados joins us on WMAY. Thanks for taking time with us. Hopefully you're staying safe out there on the streets, Drew. And let's get to the crime of the week. What do we got?
Yeah, Greg, thank you for having me. So back between July 14th and 15th in Rochester, we're looking to help the Rochester Police Department. There was a couple vehicle thefts that occurred, as well as some vehicle burglaries. These occurred at both the Camelot subdivision there off of Route 29 and the new apartment complex off of Cardinal Hill Road. Multiple items were taken. Like I say, multiple vehicles were stolen. They have recovered the vehicles, but one thing they have not recovered is from one of the burglaries, there is a Glock 43X handgun. It's a small 9mm handgun. It was black in color. They have not been able to recover that yet. Unfortunately, we don't have any pictures at this time. However, I do think that likely somebody knows what happened here, and we need your help so that we can help Rochester Police Department with this. If you have any information about this case, where the gun may be or who was involved, you can give us a call on our anonymous tip line. That's 217-788-8427. You can submit a tip on our website. That's cashfortips.us, or you can use the P3 mobile app. And, of course, we do pay up to $2,500 for any information that leads to an arrest in any case.
So clearly, this is something that there's an impetus here to get resolution as fast as possible, and you can help solve this crime and provide information anonymously. And I think that this is something, again, that we have to kind of reiterate time and again, Drew, how this is done anonymously. Because I imagine one frustration that detectives run into all the time when investigating crime is they might find a witness who's not willing to cooperate because, well, they fear that their name might show up up in a police report, and there could be some retaliation from others. So obviously that's a frustration, I imagine, but that's what this program, Crime Stoppers with anonymous tips, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do, I think that is definitely sometimes something that our detectives and detectives, across the world have to deal with, is trying to find, cooperation, and whatever that reason may be. I think there's probably a variety of those, but you're absolutely right, and that Crime Stoppers can help with that. So when people reach out to us, I always say that we never want your information, just your name, or we never want your name, just your information. I said that backwards. Sorry. And that's true. The only thing that we give you is a tip number, and that becomes your ID. I take all of your information down regarding the case. I forward it to the police department that is investigating it. And if that leads to an arrest, I will send you a message on the P3 app if that's how you choose to communicate, because it scrubs your IP address, again, keeping you anonymous. Or I tell you to keep calling back in and providing that tip number, because I obviously will not have a phone number to call you back on. And if you can provide that tip number, I will let you know that it was a good tip. And as a matter of fact, I just got some stuff approved. There's some people receiving rewards today, including one person is going to get $1,250 in cash. So we do pay. And then the only time that we ever ask anything about anybody is when it is time for the payouts. We're going to give them a location to meet, a time, and a day. And the only thing we will ask about them is a physical description. Again, nothing to do with their name, where they live, a phone number. Our board member, who is a civilian, they are not sworn law enforcement. They will meet that person, but we have to be able to give them an idea of who they're looking for, so we don't hand an envelope full of cash to the wrong person. Once they see a person who looks who they think it may be, if they can provide a tip number, they are handed an envelope with cash. The tipster goes their own way. Our board member goes the other. There's no conversation, no exchange of anything. And that is how we keep people anonymous, and we can promise and protect your anonymity. So if you have any information about any crime ever, please give us a call, because we do have a system that works to protect you.
Get the word out. All right. There's some people listening right now that know somebody that may know something. So let them know that Crime Stoppers will take anonymous tips, and they could get a cash payout anonymously if their tip leads to an arrest. So one more time, give us the contact information and where people can find the crime of the week this week, but also crimes of the week from previous weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So that can all be found on cashfortips.us. And you can also submit a tip there. You can call our anonymous tip line. That is going to be 217-788-8427. Or you can use the P3 mobile app. You can download it on Android or iPhone. And then, of course, you can use their online version as well. And that's the letter P and the number 3 tips, p3tips.com.
All right, make it happen. Officer Drew Zabados, the coordinator for Sangamon and Menard Crime Stoppers. Greatly appreciate you taking the time. Be safe out there.
Thank you, Greg. Take care.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And coming back, we got a business spotlight with Synergy Home Care. So stay tuned. That's going to wrap things up for us.